chances are you're going to have a little bit more trouble finding pants on the rack. The industry sometimes makes it a little bit harder for people who are on the edges or even just off center of the bell curve. User TreyB3693 writes, perhaps you can create a video about tailoring a suit. Some of us need one, but cannot buy one because the sleeves are too short and the legs are not wide enough. Trey, we're going to discuss the second part of your question today, and I'm going to tell everybody about how I get my pants done to make them the most comfortable for me. When I'm wearing my gym clothes, I actually fit pretty comfortably into a medium. I've brought another pair. I'll show you the M there, just in case anybody doesn't believe me, and I can move around in this stuff just fine. A medium for men is typically about a 34 or a 35 waist, but when I try a 34 waist on myself for dress pants, something happens. When I put on a pair of pants that the number on the waist when I bought it matches my natural waist size, we see a couple of different things happening. So this doesn't feel that bad on the waist. It is squeezing maybe a little bit more than I'd like. Body shamers have fun in the comments. That just drives engagement, so good luck. The bigger problem is it starts to get tighter here. I start to lose my freedom of movement, and there starts to, it exerts wear on the leg. So I switch to a more appropriately fitting pair of pants for me. You can notice the difference immediately. I have much more freedom of movement, and it's much more comfortable. The waist is no longer squeezing on me. In fact, it's a little bit loose. The pockets are no longer flared out. But of course, I did not just throw these pants on and they worked. So there is a whole bunch of very specific things that I always do to my pants that I will show you now. So when you're in the store and when you're trying on pants, it is not very important or consequential at all to find a pant that fits your waist if you have a condition that is similar to mine, because the waist is actually very easy to alter. You need to find something that will actually truly comfortably fit your leg. So what happens if you have a dress pant that's worth anything is in the back of it here there's this extra material, and it should run all the way down. There was a little bit more material when I got it and they altered it. So the reason that these no longer hang loose on me, the reason that they can stay on without a belt, this is the same pair of these just in light gray, the reason that these sit where they're supposed to without moving is because I've had the waist taken in that way. Now, as a big boy lifter, the other problem that you may run into is having your legs rubbed together. And even if you get a very nice wool dress pant, if your thighs are thicker, then it's going to eventually run through. So the other thing that I do, which massively extends the life of my garment, in addition to having a good rotation, because that also helps. You want to get more pairs so you wear each one less often. But in addition to that, I also have the tailor put in this circle of fabric right here. So there's where the fabric was initially, and we have this extra circle on there, and I even asked them to add another one just to make sure, because I'm big boy, and that's in the pelvis area. So this makes it so your thighs are protected, and it significantly extends the life of your garment. And now the last thing that I do is I always have my tailor put the suspender buttons in there. I want them to either fit right to where I can do without a belt, because I find belts uncomfortable. This is not a dig on anybody who likes to wear belts. If it works for you and you enjoy the way it looks, then hooray. But I want my pants to either be perfectly fine without them, or I want to have the suspenders on there. And then if you lose a little bit of weight, you don't have to have the pants brought in right away, because the suspenders will hold them. I'm a suspender advocate. I will also mention, as an aside, I plan to save this rant for another video, but whatever. Another reason why lifters and folks with bigger legs have trouble finding pants that fit, and why those pants rub through quickly, is because the industry has wrongly pushed for about 10 years that slim fit pants are the way to go for everybody. They've pushed a slimmer fit, a lower waist, and what that does is, well, you have less fabric stretch across a bigger area, which means that they're going to wear through more quickly, which of course means that you have to go and buy more of them. They're actually sort of stealing from you, coming and going in that way, which is one of those things that makes me want to yell at the industry, but so it is. So the way you avoid that, you get stuff like we've talked about, you alter it in the way we've discussed, but you can also have things that have a little bit more of a drape. Once you have something that fits your leg comfortably, and maybe you can add pleats, and that gives you extra room for your pelvis area and lets the pockets lie flat, then you'll start to notice that you can look good without having clothes that are gripping on you and uncomfortable. I'm here to help you restore some of your clothing literacy that I believe the industry has tried to take away. Now, this is not to say that slim fit doesn't work for anybody. Every fit should be considered based on your aesthetic and your comfort level. That's something we'll get into in another video probably. I hope this answers some of your questions. Feel free to ask me more anytime that you like. I will try to get to them as best as I can. And thanks a whole lot for tuning in. Engage more, please. Yes, thank you. All right.